So I'm going to do a quick reminder of how we start portraits. Gisela, the third grader, is going to be my model. So she's going to sit up nice and straight and be still like a statue. Thank you, Gisela. All right. And I'm going to review how you're going to do this. You're going to use your whoever you have on hand to be able to help you out as your model. So since I don't live with anyone, I'm using Gisela. She's on the camera right here, and I'm looking at my camera. So she's going to try to be still while I start. So the first thing that we start with is a circle for the head or the face. Gisela, are you going to keep your hands like that? Yeah, choose how you're going to put your hands. Okay, so then once I have this circle, I'm going to draw a line that's going to be where we know the middle of the nose and the mouth is. So she's got her head at a little bit of an angle and her eyes are across there. Sometimes we want to put our eyes all the way up here, but we know that in actuality, your eyes are more like in the middle of your face. Okay, so I've got, this is the basic part of her face, and I'm looking really closely, and I'm kind of blurring my eyes and squinting a little bit so that I can kind of simplify things. If you wear glasses, you could take off your glasses for this part, and it'll automatically kind of squint things for you. So I'm doing the basics. I'm glad I didn't do the glasses yet, Gisela. All right, so that's kind of where I see her hair. And I'm just doing big, bold shapes here. All right, are you going to keep your hands there? Okay, great. So her hands are up by the side of her face. And I don't have an eraser. And even if I did, I wouldn't want to spend a ton of time erasing because, well, you just don't become a better drawer by spending a lot of time erasing. Instead, you just want to start nice and light. So I'm going to keep working here. So now I've gotten her hands, the basics of her hair. I've gotten kind of where her eyes are and where the center of her nose and lips are. So now I'm going to start putting in those kind of values. So based on where the camera is, I'm going to put a little triangle, and that's going to get to be a little nicer as I keep going. I'm going to put in her mouth. I'm looking at her eyes, and they're kind of downcast. So sometimes you cannot see all of somebody's eyes, and that's okay. So I'm looking for where they are. I can see kind of the middle of them there. I'm going to come back to those too. That's just kind of holding the spot. I'm looking at her eyebrows, which are pretty straight right here. All right. So you're going to spend a little bit of time getting your basics in. And I'm going to make it so you can see this a little bit better. Once you've gotten your basics, though, and you guys have practiced a couple class sessions now on sort of laying in and figuring out the proportions of things and practicing. So once you've done that, then you're going to start adding value. So value is basically like light or dark. So I'm looking at the camera that I have on of Gisela. I'm laying in her eyes a little bit more now that I can see them a little bit better. And I'm looking for where the lightest lights are and where the darkest darks are on her face. So I can see that the darkest darks are actually not on her face. They're in her hair. So I'm going to start with that. And once again, I'm like squinting. And I'm kind of laying in that value. Remember, value is how light or dark something is. All right. It's not all of her hair that's super dark. And then I see some more dark on this side of her face where the rest of her hair is. And then there's more dark right underneath her chin. And actually, this is a good opportunity for me to kind of get her chin in there. So I'm paying close attention. And this is where her chin is.